M Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And look, when Stephen A. Smith said he was considering running for president, I believed him, but I thought he was lying. I thought he was just saying that just to say it and to see what the people think. But the fact that he's having spats with people in the political field now goes to show me that he probably is gearing up to campaign in 2028. And like I said in the video when we talked about him, initially talking about him running for president, I think I would vote for Stephen A. Smith. Hey, y'all voted for Trump. Why can't I vote for Stephen A.? That's just my Libra brother. Shout out him. I don't care what he does in the fucking White House. All I know is whatever he does, it shouldn't affect me that terribly. It shouldn't affect me that horribly, hopefully. But like I said, y'all put Trump in office. This is the landscape you create when you put a celebrity in office. Other celebrities can run for president, and they could have a chance to be put in office. That is y'all fault, not mine. So if one of my favorite celebrities, like y'all favorite celebrity ran, if one of my favorite celebrities run for president, I'm voting for him. Period. Either way, he's having some political spat right now with some other guy in politics. I don't know, James Carville. I don't know. I don't know who that is. But he basically told Stephen A. to shut up and dribble. Or in this case, shut up and talk about people dribbling. And Stephen A. Smith said, I got some shit to say. And he's just not going to let him call him out like that. Now, apparently this James Carville guy is like really old. Really old. So, I don't know. Take that with what you will. But let's get into this.
Delaying, this onslaught that's about to come. We're going to get started with Democratic strategist James Carville, who felt the need to call me out on his Politicon podcast earlier this week. The Raging Cajun, as he is affectionately known, is apparently upset with my recent political commentary where I have been critical of the state of the Democratic Party. To refresh y'all memory, here's part of what I had to say earlier that got him all up in a tizzy. Check it out. That's why I'm in the news. I'm not in the news because I'm here. I'm in the news because the Democratic Party is here. Damn it, lower than that. Down at the bottom. They suck right now. Horrible. Because they don't have a voice.
Hold up. I didn't know Stephen A. Smith violated the Democrats. He did this on Monday. I missed the show. He went off. He went off. This is why I fuck with Stephen A. Smith, man. He keeps it real. And not only does he keep it real, he keeps it real in a really entertaining way. I fuck with anybody that does that. Anyways, let's continue.
Where the hell is the voice? And everybody want to sit up there and talk about, we don't need a voice. 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 Well, guess what? Somebody got to send a message. How the hell can somebody receive a message if there's no messenger? In response to what you just saw me saying, that's when Carville evidently lost it, and he went on his Politicon podcast and had this personal message to give to me, even though it was seen by everybody. Take a look.
Okay, I am a big Stephen A. Smith fan. I remember I saw him some years ago on TV. When it comes to politics, he don't know his from a hole in the ground. He's on that running his damn mouth about how he may have to run as a Democrat because there's nothing left of the Democratic Party. There's no talent. Stephen A., are you me? I mean, you say you're friends with Wes Moore and you say you're friends with Josh Shapiro. I'm friends with both of them. I think they're really extraordinary, talented people. But I got news for you, dude. There's 6 or 7 other people in the Democratic Party that are just that talented. So before you start running your mouth off about politics, a topic of which you really don't know anything about, you ought to sit back and think about it and call some people and run it by them. So Stephen A., keep up your on sports. I enjoy it. I like it, but don't make a fool of yourself anymore in talking about politics.
What I find interesting about all of this is that a lot of what James Carville himself has been saying sounds a lot like what the hell I've been saying. But before I get into that, first order of business, sir, do you have to be so rude? dropping F-bombs and going going off like that. I mean, I know that's your nature. I understand that, but let's just say two can do that, I mean, if you really wanted to get raw, ain't nobody hiding from that. I could be that way. It's just that my mama taught me to respect my elders. And you are 80 years of age, if I remember correctly. And I'm trying to be respectful, so I'm not going to come at you the way that you came at me. I thought that was completely unnecessary. That's number one. Number two, I religiously say I'm no political aficionado. I religiously say I don't know politics like that. I read. I watch the news. I'm a conscientious observer. But I do have to ask you a question, Mr. James Carville, albeit rhetorically. You do know that you're talking to a voter, right? Could that be one of the reasons why y'all lost? Just a thought. Because you sound like one of those old curmudgeons that want things to stay or be the way that they used to be, and you're resentful, harboring an abundance of animosity because you're not being heard. That's not Stephen A. Smith's fault, sir. That's that damn Democratic Party that I was talking about. You see, they shouldn't listen to me. Do you realize, James Carville, that means they shouldn't have listened to you either? Which makes no sense because we were both right. Because guess what? What I was saying is what you were saying. I saw you on Fox News. I saw you on CNN. I saw you on your podcast before the election. Where the hell you think I got some of the stuff from? When you were talking about the Democratic Party, I'm making that up. I'm making it up when you were lamenting their strategy. I'm making it up when I talked about Kamala Harris and not resonating with the audience. I'm making it up when I talked about woke culture. I'm making it up when I talked about they weren't focused on the right issues. I'm making that up. You didn't say any of those things? I tell you what, let's see the audience. Let's show the audience, rather, exactly what you said. I didn't say hear it. I said let's show it to them so they can see your face. They know it's you. They know it's you, James Carville. This is you talking. Take a listen.
We have no legislative power. We have no executive power. We have no judicial power. So when you're out of power, you're an opposition party. And go and tell all of the people that are sending you and asking you for money, justify what you did, justify what you did wrong, and tell us what you're going to do different. Because what you've done ain't worth a shit. Get your head around that. And all of the Washington-based Democrats farting around, going to wine and cheese parties and talking about how misogynistic race, get your ass out of Washington and go work on a 2026 campaign and do penance to make up for your goddamn arrogance and stupidity. Well, we're going to say we told you so. We told you this identity shit was disaster. We told you to get out in front of public safety issues. You didn't. We told you to have an open process and demonstrate the magnificent and staggering and deep talent that exists in the modern Democratic Party. You didn't. We told you to differentiate yourself from Biden. You didn't. I hate to be some fucking know-it-all, but all of these things are part of the record.
Where did I hear that before? I mean, did you hear him speaking, ladies and gentlemen? Did you hear him speaking about woke culture? Did you hear him speaking about how you needed to separate yourself from Joe Biden? Did you hear him speaking about there was no primary? You remember that stuff? Where'd y'all hear that before? Where'd you hear it before? Oh, you thought I was finished. I got more. Play the next clip of James Carville, please. Show him.
The first thing is, when somebody runs for Democratic nomination in 2028, the first thing that I want to hear out of their mouth is I'm taking our message everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. I mean Joe Rogan, I mean Fox News, I mean Sunday morning shows, I mean everything. I'm proud of what we have to offer. I'm going to go out and promote it, and I'm going to go out and defend it, and I'm going to go out and attack them, and I'm going to do that all the time. Secondly, all of our events are going to be fun. There's going to be great music. There's going to be great comedians that are going to tell jokes before I come up. It's going to be an entirely different thing. With Dower, it's always somebody's in a pissy mood or somebody's just, and we're just not connecting. We're not connecting at all. And it's just going to require some discipline, and it's going to require a change of attitude.
Just a little thought, Mr. James Carville. Are you sure you want to be the dude that's pointing out how the Democrats look so dour and always in a pissy mood? You sure you the right person that should deliver that message? Have you looked in the mirror? You saw yourself? You seen the way you've talked about yourself? You see the way you disseminate a message? You don't look dour? You don't look down? You don't look enthusiastic? Come on now. Listen, sir, I respect you. And by the way, I appreciate your compliments about my sports career, my career in sports broadcasting and what have you. It's very kind of you. That part, very, very much so. Thank you very, very much. I do appreciate that. And I feel the same way about your political career. It's the economy, stupid. Still one of the most famous lines in political history back in 1992 when Clinton was running for office before he won the presidency. I got it. I understand. I know who you are. I know you've got your chops. I get you. But respectfully, sir, there's a couple of things that you need to understand. Most voters out there aren't political aficionados. But just because they're not doesn't mean that they don't know their ass from a hole in the wall, as you described me. I saw inflation. I saw the economy not being what the Democrats purported it was. I saw crime in the streets. I saw a crisis at our borders. I saw a president that was clearly diminished, to say the least. I saw the Democratic Party debatably, arguably engage in undemocratic behavior when you ultimately greased the skids to make sure he didn't experience a primary, to ultimately send him to that debate stage June 27th and embarrass himself, waited an additional 3 weeks for him to get out of office so you could put Kamala Harris in there without any resistance. I heard you lament that. Well, I lamented it too. I complained about it too. So we have to be as knowledgeable and as informed and as connected as James Carville to have a salient and decent opinion about what the hell is going on with the Democratic Party. That's what it takes. So respectfully, you're wrong. And you know you're wrong. Now, there's a lot of people that should have listened to you, and they made a mistake by not listening to you. I'm the exact opposite. You were one of the people that I was listening to break down the problems with the Democratic Party. But in that sound that I played for our audience, I noticed that there was a level of inconsistency there. You talked about going to see she should go and interview and sit down with everybody, the Joe Rogans of the world. The list goes on and on. Well, it's funny, sir, Mr. James Carville. I'm reading an article from Newsweek in November. And in that article before the election, you were talking about how you didn't like her strategy, or in the immediate aftermath of the election, I'm sorry. You were lamenting how you didn't like the fact that she was sitting down with everybody. Actually, I think it wasn't before the election. You were talking about how you didn't like the fact that she was going to sit down with Fox News, that she was going to go on The View, and all of this other stuff. You were talking about how you didn't like that. Now you're sitting back talking about, if I'm a Democrat, I'd be around everybody. I'd go talk to everybody. That ain't what you said months ago.
Well, Stephen A., he is kind of, up there in age, so he probably doesn't even remember himself saying that. But either way, this is a very entertaining situation that is happening and going on. Hopefully, no more people in the Democratic Party have any shit to give Stephen A. Smith for him giving his opinion about what's going on in politics today, because at the end of the day, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. He hasn't said anything that sounds crazy to me. He doesn't sound like our president. Shout out Donald Trump, but that nigga is crazy. He done said some crazy ass shit. We can all agree on that. But either way, Let me know what y'all think about this whole situation in the comments below. I am Savvy Mike, and as always, this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.